U.S. demands social media details from visa applicants. All right. So the State Department regulations say people will have to submit social media names and 5 years worth of email addresses and phone numbers. When proposed last year. So that means like... Does that mean like the bullshit email account from like college that you use to give to surveys or something like that when you have to give an email address for something, but you know you never want to receive what this entity is going to email you, so you give them a bullshit email you haven't used in years? Do you have to give them that one? I still have my Gmail account that I had synced up to my graduate school email. I still have that, and that's what I'll do. When I was like, you want to take our signature? Can you give us an email? That's the email I give. I have not checked that email in years, but I'm sure I'm on a ton of lists at this point, like email lists with that email address. Anyway, all right, so State Department regulations. All right, so 5 years. Certain diplomatic and official visa applicants will be exempt from the stringent new measures. However, people traveling to the U.S. to work or study will have to hand over their information. We are constantly working to find mechanisms to improve our screening processes to protect U.S. citizens while supporting legitimate travel to the United States, the department reportedly said. Previously, only applicants who needed additional vetting, such as people who had been to parts of the world controlled by terrorist groups, would need to hand over this data. That's ironic, isn't it? Isn't it? Did that mean people from the United States had to hand over their data? All right. But now applicants will have to give up their account names on a list of social media platforms and also volunteer the details of their accounts on any sites not listed. So if you're on some like social media type thing that barely anyone knows about, I guess you have to talk about that too. It's a good way to promote new social media stuff. Be like, oh man, you're not on Fart Finder, bro. You're not on Fart Finder. It's this new social media app where it like tells you, it measures the potency of your farts, and you can meet friends in your neighborhood who also think it's funny. You should totally join Fart Finder, friendly visa person. All right. Anyway, so let's see here. Trump administration first proposed the rules in March of 2018 because they got good priorities. At the time, the American Civil Liberties Union, a civil rights group, said there is no evidence that such social media monitoring is effective or fair, and said it would cause people to self-censor themselves online. Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely. U.S. President Donald Trump made cracking down on immigration a key plank of his election campaign in 2016. He called for extreme vetting of immigrants before and during his time in office. On Friday, Mr. Trump vowed to impose gradually rising tariffs on Mexico unless the country curbed illegal immigration at the U.S. southern border, where, by the way, we have a net zero immigration going on at the border, and we have way less undocumented workers than we did 10 years ago. So that's actually what's really going on. And all the other stuff you hear is just fear-mongering from the right in the Trump administration. Because we need a good scapegoat, don't we? We need a good scapegoat. And, you just bounce. The corporate media just bounces from marginalized group to marginalized group to have a scapegoat. Because you know who's really responsible for our woes? The 1% and the plutocracy that really runs this country. So you need a scapegoat. You need a scapegoat, whether it be immigrants or the LGBT community or women, or you get the idea. You need some kind of a scapegoat. Or Russia. Need a scapegoat. Need a scapegoat. Because otherwise we might actually think, hey, this is fucked up. This is what's really going on. We live in an oligarchy. We got to break the wheel. We got to break the wheel. That might be the realization a lot of people come to if we don't have a scapegoat for distraction. All right. So that's some ridiculous move that the Trump administration is making. Now you have to, they're going to comb your social media if you want to come here on a visa. Great.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and